It's a great honour for me to be here with you all, ladies and gentlemen. You're very welcome. What is this Food Vision 2030 Research and Innovation event? While I know some of you have travelled from across the country to be with us here today, I would particularly like to welcome two of our distinguished guests who have travelled from Italy and Germany to be here with us. Firstly, Professor Ismahan El-Awafi, Chief Scientist at the FAO in Rome. We are delighted to receive the FAO Director General, Dr. Chu, here earlier in the week. He attended the World Potato Congress, and I was delighted to be able to bring him on a tour of this facility here on Tuesday, and it was a great honour for us to have him here in Teagasc in Ashtown as well. And also I want to welcome warmly Professor Joachim van Braun, widely regarded as an international expert in world food systems, but also holding the prestigious position of President of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences and Distinguished Professor of Economic and Technological Change at Braun University. It gives us great pleasure to have you both with us here in person today. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to our very own Tom Arnold. Tom, you didn't have to travel quite as far, but it's still a great honour for us to have you here with us today. As Minister of State with special responsibility for research and innovation, it gives me great pleasure to open this event today, which has a particular focus on the role of research innovation for sustainable food systems and to kickstart the delivery on the innovation ambition in our Food Vision 2030 strategy. Last August, our government here published the 10-year strategy for the agri-food sector called Food Vision 2030. It was developed by a broad cross-section of stakeholders. The strategy's vision sets out a clear direction for Ireland to become a world leader in sustainable food systems, providing sustainability and socio-economic benefits for the agri-food sector, the environment, and for Irish society. The strategy contains over 300 actions spread across 22 goals and underpinned by 4 high-level missions, including one for an innovative, competitive and resilient agri-food sector driven by technology and talent. This last mission is particularly important to today's event and contains 4 ambitions that I think are worth highlighting. Number 1, move to a challenge-focused innovation system. Number 2, develop a strategic funding approach for research, development and innovation. Number 3, to develop a dynamic knowledge exchange environment. And number 4, enhancing the use of technology and data. Each of these are significant in their own right, and I would encourage you to keep them in mind throughout today's event and beyond. Our purpose here today, ladies and gentlemen, is to begin our journey across government, our state agencies, our higher education system, the private sector, stakeholder representative bodies, and non-governmental partners in considering what a cohesive and challenge-led research and innovation approach looks like in the context of sustainable food system. Of course, the first question is, what is a sustainable food system? For me, it's a system that contributes to food security and nutrition for all in such a way that the economic, social, cultural, and ecological bases which generate food security and nutrition for future generations are protected. Our keynote speakers here this morning will address this question in much more detail and delve into what it means for research and innovation community. In addition, today is about exploring models and pathways for innovation, whether for sustainability, climate action, rural prosperity, or otherwise, and how we can develop synergies and new partnerships. Also, it is clear that there is a need to reflect the gap between where our food system is today and where our ambition is. While Food Vision sets out the necessary goals and actions to bridge that gap, having a supportive model of research and innovation focused on key challenges will be absolutely critical. Your contributions are essential to developing and providing this support. In this context, our science, research, innovation, and knowledge exchange system will have to consider how we can all do things better. To achieve this, we propose that we will work in partnership with you, as outlined in Food Vision 2030 and its innovation mission as follows. Number 1, to improve the cohesive and effectiveness of the public and private actors in the agri-food innovation system. 2, to evolve the system to exchange with all stakeholders and to address key identified challenges facing our food system. And 3, to create capacity, capability, and opportunity within the system that ensures a rapid transfer of science and technology to our farmers, foresters, fishers, food businesses, policymakers, consumers, and broader society. The potential for research to increase our capacity to deal with complex problems, to ensure just and sustainable food systems for all, is considerable. My department will play a lead role in this, both as a research funder and as a policy lead, along with our colleagues across government. However, we will need your help. Collaboration is a key component in ensuring effective and fair transformation of our food system. This will inevitably involve discussing different visions and scenarios of change. It will also involve examining different methods and pathways of change, and reflects a need for systems innovation response. This is something you will hear more about today, especially in the workshop. Before concluding, I should say I'm acutely aware we're having this discussion amidst the backdrop of growing concerns around food security because of the Russia invasion of Ukraine. Our government here remains resolute in its solidarity and support for Ukraine, and will continue to coordinate a humanitarian, economic and diplomatic response to the crisis. As well as the immediate humanitarian crisis, which must take priority, we need to take the necessary steps to ensure that food security is maintained for EU citizens, for the Ukrainian people, and in the wider global context. There are multiple ways in which we are doing this, through, for example, my department's annual contribution of €25 million to the UN World Food Programme, or by keeping markets, trade and supply lines open and moving, amongst others. While we cannot predict these types of external shocks to our global food system, the war in Ukraine does show us the need to make the food system more resilient, and there's undoubtedly a role here again for research and innovation. So to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen, our direction of travel, as set out at the UN Food System Summit through policies such as the EU Green Deal and its Farm to Fork initiative, and through Food Vision 2030, is set. The next task is moving from high-level policy initiatives to engagement and actions that affect change. We speak with you here today as we wish to create a coalition of the willing, who will support us in seizing the innovation opportunity for sustainable food systems. A key desirable outcome is to develop an enhanced model of agri-food research and innovation that will provide a range of solutions to reconcile our food system with the needs of our farmers, climate, environment, agri-food industry, citizens, and the many others who both participate in it and depend on it. To quote the UN Secretary General's Special Envoy to Food Systems Summit, Dr. Agnes Kalibata, "We must not sit in silos, paralysed by our differences and defined by our challenges, but rather we must confront them, united by a shared vision and determination to overcome them. We do not get defined by our challenges, we get smarter, we innovate, and we come out better on the other side." With all of this in mind, I wish you all a really fruitful discussion here today. A sincere thanks to Teagasc and Frank and the team here who are co-hosting this event with my department. Unfortunately, I'm not able to stay for all of today's activities, but I wish you all really, really well, and I look forward to hearing all the reports about it afterwards as well. Thank you very much.